Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a video that is slightly different, and I'm going to be presenting you with a few different options when it comes to skincare. The two areas that I'm going to address today are going to be the lips and the eyes, or under the eyes rather. I'm going to discuss with you not only how to use these items properly, but also why we would select these particular items, and what are some tips and tricks to ensure that we get the most out of the products that we're using. So I'm going to be looking at two different areas that we're going to target: under the eye and also the lips. Now, when it comes to skincare, I target each individual concern independently. So I will treat my forehead differently than the jowl lines, and I'll also treat my lips differently than I would under my eyes. So I have specific concerns that I want to address. Now, I have relatively healthy skin. I do have some sensitivity concerns. And in addition to that, I have some melasma, as well as some premature wrinkling and some thinness in certain areas of the face. So let's look at how we can address these concerns. So one of the first things that I always use is mask. And I'm very specific in the type of mask that I use underneath my eyes. Now, as you see here, there's some sparkling in this particular mask. What this mask is it's a 24 karat gold luminous mask. Now, this particular mask is professional quality, and they're very hard to get at times. So when I bring you video alerts about purchasing these types of luxury skincare items, you might want to jump on them. Okay, so these right here, there's a few different reasons why a person would use a 24 karat gold. So there are different additives like caffeine, or different people use charcoal. I prefer the 24 karat gold mask because I like how it starts to depuff under the eyes. That's a concern that I do have. It also can diminish or reduce the visibility of the darker circles. And in addition to that, it also promotes a lot of smoothing or increased firmness of the skin underneath the eye. So let's talk about melasma, or even just extreme like broken capillaries under the skin. So that's essentially what happens. There are a few different reasons why we would have different discoloration, hyperpigmentation. Some can be sun, others can be different types of factors. And then one of the main concerns that we have is as we age, the elasticity starts to decrease underneath the eyes, the skin there. The skin starts to become more thin, and there are capillaries under the skin, of course. And as those begin to rupture over time, and the skin also starts to thin, we will start to see an increased amount of the hollowness, or we can also see how the darker coloration will start to peek through. So this does happen as we age. Sometimes people have this even in their younger years, but that is a big reason. So this particular mask will help to address some of those concerns. So the application is relatively simple. What we would do is we'd take this mask here, we want to put it in some heat, so we wouldn't microwave it. We would just get some tap water, get it a little bit warm, and throw this in there for about 2 minutes. Do not open them, just throw the pack in the warm water. Now, prior to doing that, what we need to do is address the cleanliness of the skin. So as you see, I have two different products here. Now, the first product that I prefer to use is this Algenist, and now it is an exfoliator. Now, there are very often times where you have an exfoliant that is very harsh and abrasive. That's not something you want to use. Absolutely refrain from using any harsh exfoliant. In addition to that, if something is strongly acidic and it starts to promote more sensitivity, you would not want to use that at this time. Now, this one right here is very mild. However, it does cleanse. I use this about 2 to 3 times during the week, and I use it before I use a mask. So you're going to make sure that your skin is very clean. Now, if you do have hypersensitivity, you can always use a different type of a cleanser under the eye. And whenever we're treating under the eye, you do not rub it as harshly or as abrasive as you would to other areas of the face. So you're always very, very light and careful when you clean under the eyes. So I use this to clean under my eyes. I've had this warming up. So at this point, what I'm going to do is put this on for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now it really depends. I leave mine on for 20 minutes. Now I would say to go ahead and start a little bit lower, so do about 15 minutes. If you feel any uncomfortableness, just understand it is something new that you're using. But if it gets to be too uncomfortable or painful, you might want to take it off. This has never caused me any discomfort at all. However, we all have different skin, so I just wanted to put that out there. Now, after we use this, you probably are going to want to clean your face. Do not clean your face. Do not clean under the eyes. I would venture to say don't even do it in the same day. Now, what you're going to do, what I do is I take my finger, I pull out some of that gel, and I lightly pat it underneath my eye. So I'm going to leave that for the full night. So I'm going to make sure that it's patted, not rubbed, and you never want to really rub underneath your eyes. You want to pat any cream you put on. So after it absorbs, then I'm going to go with a cream, an eye cream. Now, I prefer to use Infinite. Now, it is relatively expensive, but any other eye cream that you have, you can put on your eyes underneath or on top of this actual gel. You just want it to be fully absorbed, so I wait about 30 minutes. So that's how we're going to do this. So you're going to warm this up, make sure your face is perfectly clean. You're not going to wash your face after you use this. You're going to tap in the gel and finish with an eye cream. Now, the next day, I use a very nice cleanser, and I do not use an exfoliant again for 4 days. Okay, so I use a very nice cleanser under the eyes the next day. Now let's go on to the lips. So this right here is a Rose Essence Lip Plump. Now, when we think about lip plumping, we're typically looking at something that is going to irritate the epidermis or the outer layer of the skin of the lips. So whenever you're irritating the skin, what's going to happen is you're going to have the actual blood rush to the actual surface of the skin, and that's going to cause the swelling. So if you ever see any type of lipstick that has a plumping effect, you'll probably notice some tingling, and what's happening is it's actually irritating the lips, which are causing them to swell slightly. Now, this rose oil is not really going to do that. Now, this is going to address several different factors. So we do have some different vitamins, collagen in this particular lip treatment, and we also do have the rose oil. So what we're going to see is we're going to see more of the softness. The fine lines that are in the lips are going to start to diminish, which is very nice over time. It is said to plump the lips. However, it's not going to have the same effect as you would with a true irritant. Now, as we see, this is a relatively large mask. Some people, it will just fit slightly on your lips, or your lips may be a little bit larger. So you're just going to lay it on your lips. Your lips may be a lot smaller. You're still going to keep this on at whatever rate it is. This is intended to address not only the lips, but the fine lines around the lips, so the outer side of the lips. Now, if you are a smoker, which I am not, but if you are, you may have noticed over the years that you'll start to see some increased lines around the lips. And these types of things start to work very nicely to diminish or at least reduce the appearance of those fine lines and wrinkles. Anytime that we're going to be putting in additional collagen, okay, we're going to start to see some of the skin transform in a certain way. Now, it's not going to be 100% dramatic, but over time, we can address those fine lines and wrinkles. So this picture is pretty much showing you how we're going to use this. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to clean our lips. Now, I exfoliate my lips prior to doing this. Now, you can do this a few different ways. So one thing I do is I purchase a chapstick, and I take the chapstick, I cut out the actual chapstick, and I pour it into a little bit of a, it's in like one of those little containers, a measuring cup. I then put the measuring cup, a glass one, in a actual pan, put the pan with water, and then heat up the chapstick. Now, I don't want it to boil, so you're not going to put it directly in a pan. You're going to put it in a measuring cup, put that measuring cup inside of a pan with water, and you're just going to let it warm up to where it starts to melt. Once it starts to melt pretty nicely, we don't want it to boil, then we're going to add in some sugar. Once you've mixed those, now you don't want it too hot because we don't want the sugar to dissolve. So it's just to a point where it's melting. We're going to mix in that sugar, and then we're going to pour the actual chapstick back into the tube, and then we're going to freeze that. So that's a good way to have a little bit of an exfoliant. A lot of people like to do this with cinnamon or with cayenne pepper. I would caution you when using cayenne pepper or even cinnamon, okay? Now that's going to be an extreme irritant to the lips, and it will cause it to temporarily plump, but you do not want to use any cinnamon or cayenne pepper before using this. You merely want to softly exfoliate the skin. Now, another thing we can do is we can always use a larger chapstick and put it into that type of a container, and you can save your mixture. Now, in addition to that, what we can do is you can just grab some vegetable oil, put it on your lips, grab some sugar, and in a circular motion, you can exfoliate the lips. So you're going to do that, then you're going to clean the lips after they've been exfoliated. The reason I exfoliate is to kind of open the porous surface of the epidermis, so that way it'll open so this can go deeper into the actual dermis, okay? So what we're going to do at that point is we're going to put this on for 15 to 20 minutes. I put these on at the same time and just have 20 minutes. After that, we're going to take this off and we're going to rub in the actual gel. Now we're going to rub in the gel, not pat the gel. Very different from the eyes. You're going to leave this on and not wash your lips until the next day. Now what you can do is put on some chapstick about an hour later. Do not have any additives, just put on a type of moisturizer on the lips about an hour later. Okay guys, I hope that this helps you, and I hope I answered any questions. Bye guys.